went out into the wilderness like John, but this was called the land of Damascus. The staff is the interpreter of the Torah who came to Damascus. He creates an instrument for his works, and the nobles of the people, those who came to dig the well with staves. All this is very esoteric stuff. In any case, it goes on like that. So they say, if they do not keep the commandments and do according to the precise letter of the Torah in all the error of wickedness, that is to separate from the sons of the pit all these evil people and keep away from, based on the root Nazarite, the Himazer, keeping away from, separate yourself, polluted evil riches and the riches of the temple and robbing the poor and so on and murdering orphans, but separate between, here it is, separate between polluted and profane. No, between polluted and pure. Between profane and holy. Separate. And distinguish between holy and profane. That's what Peter is going to learn, just the opposite in the next chapter in Acts. This is what the new covenant in the land of Damascus is for this document. And I suggest to you, the book of Acts knows this document and is writing the very opposite of this document. Because it's in the Pauline mindset. Now, people like Paul are going to be referred to in this document. And keep the day of the Sabbath according to its precise letter, and the festivals, and the day of fasting. You know, in Galatians, Paul says, I've wasted my time for you people, with you people. You keep the times, and I'll read you what he says. These people want to keep the holy days and so on. I'm not saying they're right. I don't keep any holy days, you know. I don't want you to be slaves, he says in chapter 4. Not, he means by slaves to the law. You are an heir of God through Christ. You know God. You're not a slave. Not that you were to have known by God, rather you have been known by God. He likes this contrast of knowing, being known by. It's called strophe and antistrophe in Greek rhetorical poetic work. He follows the Greek rhetorical style here, as I told you earlier. How can you turn again to the weak and beggarly principles, like I read you this last time, to which you again desire to be in slavery, the slavery to the law? You keep the days and months and times and years. I think I have labored with you in vain regarding these things. So Paul wants them to abandon all these things. And here we have, and I'm not saying these people are right, I'm just saying it's an ideological dispute. And keep the day of the Sabbath according to its precise letter, and the festivals, and the day of fasting. It's just the mirror opposite. Just the mirror opposite. So why do Paul was at Qumran. He was in the camps. He was a member or someone who was training to be a member of the community, and he turned back away from them. According to the commandment of those who entered the new covenant in the land of Damascus. And what is the new covenant in the land of Damascus? To set up the holy things according to their precise specifications. To love each man his brother, the royal law according to the description of the letter of James, which is the most important commandment in the letter of James. Here it is. To strengthen the hand of the meek and the poor, the Ebion, and the convert, and to seek the welfare of each man his brother, and to keep away from, Lehinazar again, fornication. What we're going to hear, James's instructions to overseas communities. Keep away from fornication. Exactly written here, according to the way it is in the book of Acts, according to James's rulings. And to separate, according to the statute, and to not bear rancor against your brother, according to the commandment. Paul's got a lot of rancor in him. To separate from all pollutions, according to the statute. And you should not defile your Holy Spirit, but to separate. Rather, all should walk in these things in perfect holiness. Paul will use the same word in 2 Corinthians, to walk in perfect holiness. On the basis of the covenant of God on which they were instructed, faithfully promising, and so on and so forth. Where is this stuff about the man who preaches lying things? I can't find it here. Oh, here it is. In the next column. I can't read you all this. It's such incredible stuff when you read it with Acts. It's got the black vipers, the cruel poison of asps. The vipers are the kings of the peoples. Kings of the peoples, to my mind, the Romans called all the eastern kings of the empire kings of the peoples, the Herodian kings and other Greek-speaking kings. Their wine is their ways, the Herodian poisonous ways. The poison of asps is the head of all these kings, the Roman emperor. And the builders of the wall, but it says, oh, God will execute judgment of vengeance upon them. But the builders of the wall, the daubers with plaster, from Ezekiel 13:10, have not understood, because one of confused windiness or spirit, ruach and spirit, the word for wind and spirit in Hebrew are the same thing. This can also, as I said, be windbag. In another manuscript, it's called someone who walks in the Spirit. And this is the spouter of lying, the ideological adversary, has spouted to them and kindled God's wrath on his whole congregation. So this person has spouted to them. And let's see, there's some more about this. Dauber's on the wall earlier here. Let me see. Back in column 4. The three kinds of evil that have been caught Israel in, the three nets of Belial. The first is, they've been taught as three kinds of righteousness by these people. The first is fornication. The second is riches. The third is pollution of the temple. And the builders of the wall, those who followed Zau, meaning so-and-so, meaning the spouter, of whom it is written in Micah, he will surely spout, are caught in two, in fornication, because they take two wives in the same lifetime, whereas the founder of the Creator is 2 by 2. I can't find. There's another one I can't find. Anyway, if you read Ezekiel, which was the point I was trying to make, he's talking in that. See if anyone got. Has anyone got an Old Testament handy that we can just quick look up Ezekiel? You want to just hear? Look up Ezekiel here. Let me see if I can find it here. 13:10. Can I just give me Ezekiel 13:10? I'll read it. You got it?
Yeah.
Oh, pardon. She's got it. Yeah. Okay, because you have spoken, he says here, nonsense and lies. I'm against you, saith the God. My hand will be against the prophets. I don't like this translation. Give me your translation, because this is too. Here, give me. I'll get it. 13:10. I'll take the King.